think that's actually a smart idea to have Jonathan's picture there smiling. So then even if you're not in a good mood, everybody will still think you're happy and smiley and fine. See that? Look at that.
That's good.
Wow, it's just so great to see you, Jonathan. Look at that.
I wish its mouth moved when he talked. That'd be really cool.
Sorry, Jonathan, you make it. Proceed.
Yeah, sure, whatever now.
Sorry.
All right. Let's see. So let's go ahead and start. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's nice to see some of your smiling faces and others that don't want to share your smiling faces. I get it. That's okay, but we appreciate that you're joining us today. We want to welcome Celeste on the call with us. So Celeste is our new 4-H educator up in Campbell County. And so we're glad to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So we try and do these calls monthly for your information for others. And so for the May call, we've got a few items I want to run through. Mostly this is just an update around stuff going on from our perspective, and then some Q&A on just stuff so everybody's kind of in the loop and a chance to ask that. I am recording it, and then I do post it back out to everybody because we do have some colleagues that Friday at 10 o'clock is when they have programming going on, so they miss these calls a lot as far as that goes. So, but they can stay in the loop this way. So first up was, this is some stuff I actually wanted some information back from you all on, is if any of you had sent teams to the Meets or Will contest and got any feedback or comments back, I wanted to gather those so that I can share. It was a little bit different this year since it was tied to our FFA had their deal as well that weekend with weather, and we tried to accommodate some stuff. So any feedbacks you heard from your coaches or yourselves of attending?
Our Wool team liked having the contest on Saturday morning.
Okay, good. Anybody else?
Then the biggest discussion we had was that our coaches couldn't, our meets coaches couldn't go back and look at the class at the meets contest.
Yeah, and frankly, yeah, I got you.
So did they not let them after the 4-H contest even?
No, he didn't.
And just to update, they're supposed to send out officials. However, Sarah Jepson is the one doing that, and she is gone for the next 2 weeks, so it'll be a few weeks before you get those officials.
Anything else? Okay, thanks. That was less painless than I thought it would be. And just kudos to Sarah and Warren for helping pull everything together. Steve's out on the call as well, but thanks for everybody helping pull that together on our end. And Dawn, it's not easy when you don't have a point person other than Sarah picked up all the pieces and made stuff happen for us. So we appreciate it. Okay, speaking of Sarah's got a couple items related to volunteer trainings and showcase showdown.
Yeah, I have a couple of things I want to talk about. The first thing, I want to share my screen and show everybody the new employee website. If you haven't, I sent an email out about this, but I just want to make sure that you know where things are. We revamped this before I had told you to stay away from it because it wasn't up to date. But if you go here to the side and click on 4-H resources, this has now been updated. So the information here is actually the right information. And so we divided it up based on the program quality framework, which if you haven't seen that, that's the basic thing that says the things you should be doing in your job. So if you know that you're working on 4-H clubs and you're looking for a form that's not on our website to the public, it's going to probably be here. So if you look, you can just kind of scroll down. 4-H clubs has the club dissolution checklist, the letter you send out if you're not renewing their charter. But basically, this is just going to go down. And this volunteer management section, I'm currently working on with Warren to finish up the new volunteer training. So as soon as that's complete, it will go there and you'll have all the resources you need, the handouts and the PowerPoint to do the new volunteer training that we discussed at the area meetings. But I just wanted to let you know that this is out there. If there's something you can't find, I will reiterate, please don't spend hours looking. Just send me an email and I'll tell you where it's at so you can find it later. So Also, I'm just going to switch over to the other stuff I wanted to talk about. I should have this one as a bookmark, but I don't. I did finish up the third of our leader training series. So if you're looking for things for volunteers to do, as far as what they can do for a 5-year renewal for the 4-H program, all the trainings are down here from the last one that was done January of last year up until the most recent one, which was the working together one that was done on the 30th, so last week. So I just want to let you know those are all there. We have one more left. It's in May. I believe it's the last Tuesday in May, and that one will be on supporting clubs. We're going to talk a lot about the wheel, which we've kind of highlighted at lots of different events, but that's what I'm going to talk with club leaders about or people who are needing a training. So please be sure to send them to that site. In addition, I did a training for Showcase Showdown for members. And so I just want to show you where that is in case you have people who are interested in wanting to know more about Showcase Showdown. Look, I don't even know what I'm looking for. State contest. There you go. So Showcase Showdown is live. I did a training for all of you if you could make it. I tried to record it, but it went funny. So if you want to know more about Showcase Showdown, the training I did for staff was very similar to the training I did for the 4-H families. So please, if you want to know more, you can watch it. It's right here, the Showcase Showdown for Families PowerPoint, and that should get you all the information that you need about where to stay, costs, all that kind of stuff. Online registration form is live, and anybody can go there and do that. So if they choose to do that, I will send an update probably mid-May and the end of May to let you know who's already registered, and then I'll send one the day before, and then 2 or 3 days after to have you put together the teams for your county. So just to let you know that's where that is. And then I think those were the 2 things I want to talk about. Are there any questions related to Showcase Showdown that I can help answer for anybody that may have missed it or have questions since then? The biggest thing I would let your families know is that this Showcase Showdown, we're really trying to highlight the fact that we're doing a lot of really cool workshops and tours this year. And so please let families show them this PowerPoint, share that with them, because I think they can really maybe see that they could come even if they don't compete in a contest, that there's a lot of things they can do if they just want to come down and hang out with us versus having to be part of a contest group. So, and I tried to make it very family friendly so that they could even bring their whole family and either stay in the dorms or stay in a hotel, and it talks about that. So please take a chance to share that with families who might be not understanding what Showcase Showdown actually is. So, that is all I have for now, Jonathan.
Okay, any other questions, Sarah? Okay, next up was Dawn had a couple things to bring up. Dawn, you look like you're in the dark there. Wow. I think it's just the light behind you so you can look at your lambs, huh?
No, I'm actually in my office, but that window is ultra bright. I don't even know. I'm going to have to buy a shade, I think. So. Okay, so I just wanted to share a couple of quick things that some of the information you guys got out via email. I tried to send it out, but just to kind of make sure that you know is that the 307 judging stuff I think is up to date now online. So if you are having kids have questions about that, please have them go there. They can register on that website link for all the contests. So they just go in and register, and then they can click all the contests that they want to attend. And if they decide they want to go back and add, they just do it again and add that in, and then we'll try to keep them abreast of the details for those contests. So and I think the points are updated. We did have a few complications because there's a lot of kids in that senior category because we have all the kids that participated in the winter contests that were put on by FFA. So we have a lot of kids maybe that are on there that don't necessarily want to participate in the 307 series, but they're in there because of the fact by default they were in those winter contests. So Mary Louise caught a couple of kids that were in the wrong age category, and I think I've got those fixed. If something else is an error you see on there with your kids, please let us know and we'll get those corrected. I hope they're okay now. But and then just a couple of things, keep pushing if you can on horse camp and the day camps. We have a really small number of kids signed up for Jenny's day camps in oh, right there, Jonathan brought up the website. So right there, so they can register for back to 307 is on this website. There's the registration link. so they can go in here and then choose. And I'm going to take those contests off there as they approach. So for example, the Eastern Wyoming Community College contest is this weekend, but the pre-registration is already over because I've already got cards printed for them. So I've taken it off there, and then we'll take them off as they have. It looks like there is one missing on there. I just realized it's the Casper contest. I'll get that added. I just got that information from Jeremy, so I'll get that added on there. But so those are all the ones that are sanctioned. And then there's the ranking for each of the age divisions on there. By points. And then the other thing that's on there is the actual results from each of the contests are on there. Yeah, so anyways, click on that one. No, so just so you guys know, like on the Northwest one, this is what we have for results. So if they want individual class scores, like I don't have access to those because they're in judging card. And so that is something they'll have to contact to the people that host those contests if they use that program, that we don't have any way to go back in and get a breakdown from there. And anyways, I have asked Quinn for this one, but he's struggling on learning that program, but so we don't have it. So anyways, so I think we're good on that. That's all on that one. Okay, so just, sorry, back to horse camp. Just we still have lots of spots open, I guess is what I'm saying, on day camp, as not as many on horse camp, but on the day camps we have a lot of spots open. So encourage kids if they want to get signed up for that through that animal website too. There's a registration link on there as well that they can go in and register for the day camps. If they have questions about each of the day camps, they'll have them direct them directly to the counties. So Sarah for the Sundance one, and Brittany for the Becky for the Cheyenne one. So not to Jenny. So okay, and then the only other, I just have two other things is, as the summer goes along, if you guys have things that you're doing like that could count as labs for the animal science kids, please send those to me so then I can send them out to kids. So if you're doing field days, day camps, workshops, like anything that possibly other kids from other counties can attend. I know I've said that, but we continuously are struggling to get kids in the Animal Science 1009 class to get enough labs so to meet the minimum qualification, because they have to have 36 labs by the time they're done. So please send those to me, and then what I do with them is, if you don't have them on that Animal Science website or on the 4-H website, I'll add them, but also then I send them out directly as an email to those kids as an invite to participate. So thanks to all of you guys that have done that. If you have stuff coming up, continue to share that. And then the last thing, just an update, is that it's coming out, and Amber will be very excited because I finally got the final details yesterday, is that we are doing 3 statewide livestock showmanship grooming camps. So that information is coming out. So we were put on hold a little bit to try to look up the logistics of it. I still need to match up with Debbie again at Natrona County to finish that out, but there will be one June 1st and 2nd in Rock Springs. There's one June, oh my gosh, I don't have my calendar. Is it 5th, Amber? 6th? Sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Can you hear?
We can't hear you. 6th.
Oh, 6th. Okay. June 6th in Worland, and then June 19th in Casper. So those are 100% focused really on showmanship and grooming. I'm sure that the presenters will answer other questions regarding feeding and things like that as it comes up. But the idea is that kids will bring their animals and they'll get hands-on knowledge, experience with their animals. I will say that those are limited in size on purpose. So each of the camps will only have 20 kids in each species. So it will be for pig, sheep, goats, and beef, but we were only taking 20 kids in each species. So it is limited in size. So I will get that information out, send in a flyer, and they'll have a registration link similar to what you just seen for the 307. And then there is a fee, because that's how we're going to cover the expenses of that to attend that. So that information will come out as soon as I get it finalized from Debbie. So that Marty put a question in the chat box about the presenters for the Worland and Casper, is that, so the one in Rock Springs, the main lead presenter is Colby Hells is doing that. On Saturday is going to be beef. On Sunday is going to be sheep and goats, swine, the other species. And then Amber's is the one that is like still holding, the one in Worland. And so I don't want to say that presenter in case they tell me no. They're supposed to tell me Saturday yes or no concretely for sure. And actually, I think that's going to be a 2-part presenter on that day. So I don't want to release that name and then I get it wrong. But and then the one that will be in Casper is I'm having a mind blank. He's from Montana. Oh my heck. Sorry guys, you have to watch the flyer. I'm having a mind blank and I don't have that in front of me. Anyways, Jess Moody is the one in Casper. So he's from Montana, has lots of experience in all 4 species, so we're excited to have him. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And then the other question Marty put in there is that, and I'm still working on this, so that I've talked to some of you guys, is that the you had kids like I don't even know, maybe 2 years ago. I don't even know how long ago it was. It's a while ago when you guys nominated kids to be part of the Ag Ambassador State Ambassador team. And so the idea behind these camps is that there's a main lead presenter, and then from there they'll break down into sessions and get more hands-on one-on-one with older teens. And that's where the Ag Ambassador team is coming into play. I will tell you I'm struggling. And that's kind of been a little bit of that hold, and we're probably going to move forward with what we have this year and then continue to build that. Is that so each of you guys had an opportunity to nominate kids for that Ag Ambassador team. And like I said, this is like a while ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not sure when that, probably somebody knows before me because it was before I was in this position. And so I've contacted you if you had nominated people and got those kids' contact names. And so we're still working on finishing building that team. I think this year it'll be small, and if I don't get enough of those kids, we may send out something here in the next week asking for more nominations from counties that possibly didn't put in nominations at that time. I know we've had a lot of turnover, and maybe there's many of you in positions that maybe weren't even in the position when those nominations were sent out. So that's kind of where it is. But the idea is, and hopefully this will be our trial year and make it work this year, and then it'll grow next year and be stronger next year as far as using those kids to then be the teachers for those camps. So that's all I have.
Don, there was a question in the chat box, an estimated cost for the clinic.
Yeah, I think it's going to be $40. We're still working on that, and hopefully that was the original budget, was $40. But I will tell you is that we're lucking out because Jess Moody, for example, has a place to stay in Casper, so we don't have his lodging expense and things like that, as well as the fact is that he's going to anyways, he's driving, so it's less mileage, et cetera, et cetera. He still is determining where he's going to be as far as the position and work for the summer, so I don't have a concrete cost for him. So I'm hoping that that's going to be less, and those are kind of just final little details. I know Amber's like anxious for me to get this out, but that's kind of the struggle that I've been, is to get that narrowed down as far as what that budget looks like. But it'll be somewhere between that $30 to $40 range.
Dawn, I just wanted to let you know too, if you want to find out more about the Judging Card scores, you can actually go to judgingcard.com and get all that information yourself. So,
yeah, no, I can, but you can't download it out. That's where I pulled those from, Sarah. But so you can go there and look at it, but I can't pull it to put it on the website because I can't pull it all into Excel, or I have to do it like physically manually. Because you can click on an individual kid and get the individual scores, but I can't download them into Excel.
Right. So, but I'm saying if families want to look, they can go there and look.
Oh, yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you had somebody if you had somebody that specifically wanted to go look at their own scores, they can go to Judging Card and go look themselves. I just can't put it as a link on there. So, because we don't have access to download all that. So it would just take a ton of time.
Yep.
So, yeah, thanks. I appreciate
it. Just a reminder, besides those 3 camps, that I think Sarah has one scheduled up in her county, and Stacy has one similar scheduled in her county for
and
to attend.
Gretchen has one too, I think, over at, right, Tycee? You guys have one over there in the Bighorn Basin. So the statewide ones, by all means, was not to take away from what you guys are doing, great programming in the locals. This was just a way to try to utilize and build that Ag Ambassador team and give them a role and a project to work on in the state level. And so that's kind of where we're at. And yeah.
Great. Any questions for Dawn on anything she shared? If you're talking, we're not hearing you, meaning you're muted. And
Jonathan, I'm sorry, I thought of one more thing. I didn't have it on my list, but maybe I should just share. The other thing, and I don't have the details, that's why I wasn't going to share, but I'll just tell you that it's coming, is that we are still trying to work on getting the horse leader training set so that if you guys have leaders in your county that want to become certified to pass kids off on safety certification, is that we're working on that. So this year there's going to be 2 sites. One is in June in Fremont County, where they can come complete the hands-on portion of that and get training. And then we're still working with Mary Louise. That's kind of, we haven't got that date to figure out whether we're going to continue in the summer or we're going to do one in the fall to have one in Albany County. So the idea is that the leaders can get on and get the PowerPoint instruction part of it via Zoom, and then they would come to a central site to get the hands-on portion of that. So by all means, leaders can still get trained locally for this. They don't have to come to the state training. We're just trying to provide some venue at the state level, because I know that many of you guys have said you need leaders trained in this area. So
Yeah,
stay tuned.
the goal of that was, if you're rejuvenating or trying to help a group of volunteers get started back up in that realm, and you want to take them somewhere or get some additional training where they feel like they need some sort of level of certification to feel more comfortable doing the actual training in your counties, or the certifying of the kids in the counties, these are going to be great places for them to come.
Or maybe a refresher course. That's the other inquiry, is that the last time that we did a state one, really has been a long time ago.
Yes.
So maybe even if you have leaders that are certified that want to come get like a refresher course, this is just an option for that. So Mary Louise, do you have that? Do I know any more about your date that I didn't share? Like, we're still just figuring that out, right?
No, because the dates that Jenny has are just weekdates, and I don't see how we can ask adults to give up a day of work to come do this. I mean, yeah, I can get kids, that's easy, but to ask adults to come on, I mean, I get it. I know Jenny doesn't want to give up her weekends, but I think we're going to have to go with the fall to get a weekend.
Okay. Yeah, we'll still work on that. Maybe we'll chat some more about that. So, and then, sorry, I really thought I was done, but I really want to share one more thing, and then I really will be done. The other thing that's coming out that hopefully next week is that the other thing that we're starting this summer is a 307 livestock show series. And so I'm excited about that. Is how that's going to work is that it's going to be kind of like the livestock judging series. It's only based off the statewide jack. So kids that want to show in those jackpots can accumulate points and then compete for year-end awards, just like the 307 judging series. And so, yeah, stay tuned. That is in the works to come out as well. So just so you know, that's coming.
Dawn, there's
so it's nothing by you guys. You guys don't have to do anything with that. It'll just be an opportunity for you guys to share with your kids. If you're hosting a summer jackpot in your county, you're in charge of it, then you can choose to participate in it or not. So.
Don, there's Kelly posted as well in the chat box that they're doing a certification for volunteers, for leaders, July 19th. And so people are welcome to come and attend theirs as well. Thanks, Kelly.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Warren, you're up. You got a couple things.
So a couple updates I have. Number one, I'll just kind of give a quick update for our leadership team and the selection there, and then I'll go on to shooting sports. So a couple areas that I've kind of been working on. So number one, hopefully everybody saw the email about our 2019-20 state leadership team, and thanks to all of the educators that provided feedback evaluation for each of those candidates. We just kind of give you a quick rundown of how we've kind of chosen to do it now. So we had, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, mid-20s applicants. And so we did kind of a preliminary cut based off of their applications to the final. Then we did an interview, first round interview, selected finalists, and then we did final round interview to come down to the final 7 that were actually selected for the team this year. A couple things I just wanted to add is that we had a few 14-year-olds, quite a few 15-year-olds apply, and that's perfectly great. The one thing that I'll just add, though, is sometimes they are a little bit of a disadvantage compared to the 17, 18-year-olds, just in maturity, just in experience, those type of things. So one thing that I would just hope that all of you would know, that especially for those 14, 15-year-olds that applied that weren't selected, I think it's probably would be positive. We've talked to some of them to just kind of let them know that part of it too is just kind of that experience level that they have. Our goal is so that they don't get down, that they'll come back and hopefully keep engaged locally in your county program, and then apply next year or future years. So we just kind of want to let people know that. So if you know that you have some of those young members that were not selected, if you just kind of reach out to them and say, this is, here's some other opportunities, get some, a little bit more maturity, get a little bit more experience. That's something that there's still an opportunity for them in the future. So hopefully we'll do that. So thank you all for those. The second thing I wanted to update on is the state shoot registration. So similar to Showcase Showdown, we will have the registration deadline for individual members, and that will be June 24th. We're going to try to do it at noon this year. As everybody knows, the 25th, 26th, 27th will be Showcase Showdown. And so I want to have at least an afternoon of that 24th that we can get registrations done that evening. Our plan is just like Showcase, we will have individual registrations, and then team registrations can be submitted later. So we don't have to have the teams exactly right then, the 24th, just individuals. Now, remember, there's a couple different ways. So all registration will be done online, okay? But there's two different ways that some counties have chosen to handle it, and so I think that you can do that. Number one is you can send out the registration link. Individual members can go on and register themselves online. The other way is that I'll send out just a registration form that you can send to the individual families. They can submit it, and then you can do all your county registration at one time. That was kind of the compromise we made when we did that. So you could choose to do that. Send them individually. They can do them. Now, the one question we had, a lot of you had before, is that how will they know that remember to sign off that are safe and everything like that. So when they register, we'll send the list back to you. That will then, you can go through that list, make that determination with your shooting sports volunteers, because at that point we can still remove them, right? And then number two, also you'll have all the individual registrations, then you can form your teams based off of that. So those are the couple things that you need to know for state shoot registration. The only change that we do know that will be a little bit is they increased the shotgun fees. So shotgun was $18, now is $22. So just as a reminder, the general registration, everybody will pay a $15 registration fee. Then there's the additional fee if they're in shotgun, which will now be $22. And then there's an additional fee for archery, which is $5. Everything else is covered within that $15 registration fee. So there's a couple of things. I have that individual registration form done. I actually have the online form done now too, but we'll send that out. So really you can kind of make that decision within your shooting sports leaders, within your office, of how you want to handle collecting registrations for state shoot. So with that, any questions, comments, concerns about state shoot leadership team?
So Warren, did all the leadership team kids get some feedback?
So the ones that were not selected, so I sent them a letter. If there was something specific, right, that maybe, I mean, that we added that, but not much. I mean, yeah, they're just, so some of them I actually, a couple of them, I called their educator and had, asked them to follow up. One other one that we actually had called and followed up. If there was something that we thought that was really, really important for them to know. Some of them, like you say, it's just kind of, nature of the selection process. We have to cut some and so if there was something specific that we did, I tried to follow up with that. Other questions?
Okay, thanks, Warren. Just a couple other update things I wanted from an organizational standpoint to share with you. One is interviews occurred for the Evanston position. We have an accepted position there. I don't know the start date on it, so it's not official, but we do have it in writing that she'll be starting in Evanston sometime later this summer. So we'll be fully staffed when, well, with the cuts still in our office, but we'll be fully staffed in the counties at least when that person starts. So 8 more years together with everybody, we will be fully staffed for 8 more years, right? Nobody leaves. Okay. Then the other piece I want to just give you a heads up on is this is all, I don't have this direct, I have it indirect, but apparently we do have a new dean. It hasn't been publicized yet, but the candidate was on campus and told a couple different people her start date. So it sounds like Dr. Pasco accepted the position of the dean. Position is going to start sometime in June. So again, that's not official anywhere, but
So it is official, unofficial, because I heard her having a conversation in the hall. She's actually bought a house. So that's as official as you can get. When you already have a house in Laramie, she's coming.
well, and she even gave a date of June 28th, but nothing's, the search committee hasn't even been told that, have they, Amber? You're muted still, Amber. Yeah, we still can't hear you. Something's not right. Yeah, I know the committee hasn't even heard collectively on that one. So anyway, that's what I know about organizational. Everything else is still as is. I have heard nothing more organizationally from like associate directors positions. I do know that from what I understand, the interim leadership, including Dr. Staten, the interim dean, and the leadership team are still moving forward with this idea of what a tier 1 school could look like and trying to get that laid out between now and when the new dean would start. So they're starting to work and prepare for the interim ag committee meetings and things like that. So it has some bearing on us all, but it's not your direct worries. I just didn't want you feeling like you weren't in the know on stuff that you might want to be in the know on. Okay. If you have other questions, you can sure give us a call or bring them up here too, related to that type of stuff. Questions on any of that? Let me check the chat box. Okay, Amber just posted, nope, that was news to her. Okay. Last on my list of stuff today, two things actually. One is just a reminder that interns should be starting here in a couple of weeks for those counties that have internships. So I'm sure Warren's going to be getting with you all and them once they get started on this training. He usually does is that correct, Warren?
So I have a Zoom call on the 20th. That's the first start date. So if they start in your office, then you can jump on with them. My plan is this year that we'll just do it for both the supervisors and the interns, so we can just talk about everything all at once. And so if you can make it, great. If not, I'll make sure that the interns, even if they don't start, and there was just a few instances where they couldn't start that day. But just so everybody understands, that's their official start date from the university. We have the same start date and the end date. So that's when they'll get paid. So that means if they can't start that first few days, they'll just work a couple extra days at the end to make up for the difference. They'll still get paid the exact same amount. It's a salaried type position. And so then we'll just kind of figure out those hours internally to you in your office to get get their time and effort from them. But so I'll send that out. So June 20th is the first day we'll have a Zoom for both the supervisors and the interns.
Okay, last on my list was just an update with the calendar items related to the next big 4 things that are happening at the state level. We have the Ghana exchange going on for our international efforts coming and going. Horse camp, the Boulder Big Draw 4-H Foundation fundraiser in Boulder, that archery shoot, and CWF, Citizenship Washington Focus Those are the next 4 state level opportunities, and all of those happen in June. So we're kind of in that gap stage of cranking everything up. Okay. Okay. Now time's open to you guys for just question and Q&As on stuff.
I have one more thing I forgot to mention, Jonathan, if that's all right. So we talked at our area meetings, our area meetings about a leadership event we're trying to have for the fall tied to a football game, and with Campus Pass, UW, whatever they're calling it, whether it's Campus Pass or the UW days. I don't remember what that. Anyway, I just wanted to give everybody an update. We are struggling mightily finding facilities to have this at. We've called 3 camps. They're all booked. We've called hotels, and conference type hotels are booked, and the hotels that aren't booked are outrageously priced. It's Ag Appreciation Weekend plus a football game, so they all jack their prices way up. So right now, it's kind of in a holding pattern. We're still going to have these conversations because this is one that our current leadership team has been, will be, and is involved with in planning. So that's something that we're still going to have to work through. But as of right now, we don't know what is going to happen because facilities are a challenge. So that's the update I have for you at this point.
Thanks, Warren. Okay, anything else, any questions anybody wants to ask to the team as a whole? Not hearing any? Let me,
I do.
go ahead, Emily.
I'm sorry. I'll try to make it quick. So with State Fair coming up, and Warren, you're talking about lodging and things, and I had talked to somebody, and I can't remember who. I thought this would be a good opportunity since most of us are here. That they said they would, we would lodge together, and they would handle State Fair lodging for me. And I can't remember who it was. And if you don't remember, that's okay. I'll take care of it. I just wanted to check in. Kind of, are we required to be there all 5 days? Is it kind of up to us?
So the answer to that is yes. The expectation from your supervisors is that you're there the whole week with your group unless you work out some specific arrangement directly with your supervisor. There have been personal circumstances that have alleviated that, so work out anything like that with your supervisor. In this case, it would go directly to Kelly as we're at right now. If it's from a work perspective, it's, yeah, there's an expectation you're there for the week. In terms of housing and lodging, yeah, it's a free-for-all. I will tell you this, meaning find roommates to share costs if you want to. There's always the dorms if you're willing to sleep with snoring girls, or my daughter sleepwalks, or what have you, that type of scenario in the dorms, to hotels with colleagues or anywhere else. I will share with everybody that we do have a block of rooms right now that we haven't shared out, with about 8 rooms left at the Hampton. And so we will shortly share out the link to that if you haven't got something already lined out. But I think all the rooms that were left in there were king rooms, but that should get shared out to the whole college here pretty quick. So,
hey, Emily, we had emailed back and forth about staying at the Law Enforcement Academy as well. That's a bit cheaper than staying at a hotel. It doesn't have the amenities or the continental breakfast, but it has a bed and a shower and a common fridge.
Okay, thanks, Megan. I will send you an email. I thought it was you, but I also know that you're swamped with a lot of things, and I didn't want to say, hey, have you done that yet? And then you had no idea what I was talking about. So I'll
No.
things.
Yep, that's perfect. That's a good option, and I'm happy to talk with anyone who wants to learn more about that as a rooming option.
This is Sarah, and I have a question. I know that there are several other counties or school districts that have 4-day school weeks. Could you just put it in the group chat if you have a second? Tell me when your school start date is for if you have a 4-day school week. Ours is August 14th this year, which is Yay, super great for all of the kids. So I'm trying a movement to get as many kids to State Fair as I can so it ruins their life. But, you know, I'm the only one on that bandwagon right now, and some of the ag teachers. But anyway, if you could just put that over there so that I can, because I like to take it back and say, we're the only ones doing this to our kids. Why are we doing this? So that's all. And Jonathan, will you please call me back?
Yeah, I'm on a lot of people's list to call back. You're number 2, just so you know, Sarah. But yes, Terry's number 1. Just in callback list, not you're all number 1s in my eyes. So,
Liar.
Hey, Jonathan, I'm not sure who gets this memo, but we were sorting through our backpacks for our first year members, and we found some of our backpacks are missing the clips, like to close it with the buckles.
okay, there's not much we can do about it, but duly noted.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know where you ordered them from, but heads
Okay,
up.
thank you. I'm sure they came slow boat from China, if I remember right. Everything came from China at that point in time.
So it is an issue.
Also, unrelated question to that, do you know when the dog show at State Fair will be?
Yeah, the dog show will be on Tuesday. It'll be back on the first day of State Fair.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm, just so you know, Megan, I'm on Cheryl and Tinker's bad list right now too.
No, I was just hoping that they were on your list to call as well.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
But the good news is that they're only hounding you so they can get judges.
Good.
Warren, quick question. With State Shoot and that county fair kind of on top of each other, how do you see that pack out going?
So I've been in contact with their, I don't know if it was a fair manager or fair board chairman. I don't remember what exactly her role was, but she was with the fair, plus the state fairgrounds. They start that weekend that we're there, but not much, just kind of setup time. So really the overlap is going to be minimal. If I remember correctly, they have, it might even be the horse show or something that they have start early on, but the fair, Conference County Fair, does not actually start, so animals, those type of things, exhibits don't move in until that next week after we're gone. So based off of that, the main issue they were concerned about is just setting up the buildings early enough for their fair, plus for our State Shoot. And we think that we have that figured out. It's basically, it's not going to affect either of us much. It's going to affect the state fairgrounds and the grounds crew more than anything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? I'll check in the chat box. Sarah, looks like people are responding. Are you getting those okay, Sarah? Are you seeing those? She must have.
I am, thank you. And yeah, it just proves that Crook County, they're so clueless. Why would you start the 14th of August? It's so early.
Natrona's done that the last 4 years as well. Okay.
Is Grady on the call? I didn't see her.
Nope.
Okay, I have some food cook-off questions, but I'll just wait for her email.
Okay. Okay, I think we're done with the state 4-H call as far as that goes. Thanks everybody for joining, but don't bail because Kim, if I correct if I'm wrong, are we going today again? No, I see.
No, because we did the Google follow-up, we're not going to do one today. We do have one scheduled for the 29th of May at 11 o'clock for the Lunch and Learn, and that's going to go over marketing and how to get your word out on the different platforms of social media. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Who's presenting on that, Kim?
Outliers Creative. It's a company here in Gillette. They're super stoked for it.
What was the date on that again?
May 29th.
And this will be the last call until September. So for our new colleagues, these are presented on the first Friday of each month through May, immediately following our state 4-H calls. And then we do offer this next one, of course, will be on the last Wednesday of each month. And that is a bit more formal presentation. The coffee talks that happen right after our state calls are a bit more informal and idea sharing and programmatically driven. And the lunch and learns are the last Wednesday of each month, and those are more focused on professional development.
Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good week, a good Cinco de Mayo, a good Labor Day, Memorial Day.
Hey.
And we'll see you at the next functions here and there throughout the summer. So thanks everybody.
So Jonathan will have a good vacation, so don't try to call him next week. He won't be here.
I'm going on one. I've never been on one before. So thanks everybody.